Ever feel like you're stuck in a rut with those habits you're trying to build? Like you want to make a change but keep hitting a wall.
Yeah, it's a common struggle, isn't it?
Absolutely. So today we're diving deep into some really practical advice on building better habits. We're looking at a piece called Thekami Pelage, which offers 18 different suggestions. Our goal, to help you make those changes stick without it feeling like a complete life overhaul.
Right, because who has time for that?
Exactly. So before we get started, think about a recent habit you tried to build but couldn't quite get it to stick. What was the biggest challenge for you?
Hmm. That's a great question to get us thinking.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting about these 18 suggestions is that, taken together, they offer a surprisingly comprehensive approach, touching on everything from mindset to how we structure our environment.
I totally agree. So let's jump into the first one. Start small. The idea is when starting feels overwhelming, beginning with something tiny helps prevent discouragement.
Yeah, like dipping your toes in the water before jumping in the deep end.
Exactly. The source even suggests if you want exercise, start with just a 10-minute walk each day and gradually increase it. It feels counterintuitive, right? Like, is 10 minutes really going to make a difference?
It might not seem like much, but the magic here is in building momentum and that sense of, I can do this. Think about it, that initial step is often the hardest. By making it super easy, you're way more likely to actually do it.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Right. And then that small win, that feeling of, hey, I did that, it's huge. It makes the new behavior less intimidating and gives you a sense of progress, even if it's just a tiny step. And that fuels the desire to keep going.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like reducing the barrier to entry, making it less daunting. And the second point builds on this by saying, set clear goals. It emphasizes moving past vague wishes like, I want to be healthier, to concrete targets like, I want to exercise 3 times a week, or I want to lose 3 kilos this month. Why does that specificity matter so much for motivation?
Well, it comes down to how our brains work. Vague goals are like shooting arrows in the dark. You don't know what you're aiming for. But specific goals, they create a clear picture of success.
Ah, so you can actually see the target.
Precisely. This clarity allows you to plan effectively. You know exactly what to do, when, and how often. Plus, you can measure your progress, which provides a much stronger sense of accomplishment. It's tangible. You hit those 3 workouts or lost that kilo, and that feedback loop is super motivating.
Right. It's about having those concrete milestones to track. So the next suggestion is about routine, it says. Create a daily routine, and it stresses consistency. It recommends setting a specific time each day for new activities, like 5 minutes of meditation before bed or reading 10 pages daily. How does this predictability help solidify a new habit?
It all comes down to our brain's love for patterns. When you consistently do something in the same context, same time, same place, your brain starts forming strong connections. These pathways become more efficient over time, and the behavior becomes automatic, requiring less effort.
So it's like our brains are wiring themselves for this new behavior.
Exactly. It's like classical conditioning. The time and context become cues that trigger the desired behavior.
Yeah.
You don't even have to think about it. The more consistently you follow the routine, the stronger those pathways become.
Fascinating. Okay, the next point is a clever one. Connect with daily activities. It suggests linking new habits to things we already do automatically. For instance, placing a water bottle on your desk to drink more water, or drinking water after washing your hands. It's like piggybacking the new habit onto an existing one.
Precisely. It's called habit stacking. It takes advantage of existing neural pathways. Because the established habit is already a well-worn path, it acts as a reliable trigger for the new behavior.
That makes the new habit much easier to remember and do.
Exactly. You're creating a simple mental link. If I wash my hands, then I drink water. That trigger makes the new action far more likely to happen consistently.
It's so simple yet so effective. Okay, now for something everyone loves. Rewards. The fifth suggestion is reward yourself. It says that when you achieve your goal, give yourself something you enjoy, like a treat or watching a movie after exercising for 5 days.
Positive reinforcement is powerful stuff, but the key is choosing rewards that support your overall goals and don't sabotage your progress.
Right, we don't want to undo all the hard work.
Exactly. While an occasional treat can be motivating, constantly relying on unhealthy rewards can create conflicting desires. Ideally, the reward should also reinforce the benefits of the habit itself. For example, after a week of exercise, enjoying that feeling of increased energy can be a more sustainable motivator.
That's a really important point. It's about finding rewards that align with the bigger picture. Now, this next technique is intriguing. Use the 5-minute technique. It suggests that when motivation is low, commit to doing the task for just 5 minutes, like telling yourself, I'll just write for 5 minutes. The idea is that once you start, you'll often want to continue. What's the psychology behind this?
It's all about overcoming that initial resistance. That feeling of overwhelm or lack of motivation can be paralyzing. But by shrinking the commitment to just 5 minutes, you lower the barrier to entry. It feels manageable, almost too easy, so you're more likely to just start.
I see. So it's about tricking your brain into action.
Precisely. And often once you've started, you find that momentum takes over and you end up going way beyond those initial 5 minutes.
It's like that saying, well begun is half done. Sometimes getting started is the biggest hurdle. Okay, now for a point that's often overlooked. Know the importance of rest. The source emphasizes getting enough sleep and engaging in stress-relieving activities, like watching movies, listening to music, or taking walks. How does rest contribute to building better habits?
Rest is absolutely crucial for our overall well-being, both physically and mentally. When you're sleep-deprived or stressed, your cognitive functions, including focus, decision-making, and willpower, take a hit.
Right, it's harder to make good choices when you're exhausted.
Exactly. And those functions are essential for sticking to new routines. Rest allows your brain to recharge and consolidate learning, making you more likely to maintain those new behaviors in the long run.
So it's like giving your habit-building engine a much-needed tune-up.
Perfect analogy. Now, the next suggestion revisits scheduling, but with a slightly different emphasis. Set specific times. It reiterates the value of allocating particular times for activities like reading or exercising, using the example of 7 a.m. for exercise. Is this just another way of saying create a routine, or is there something more to it?
It does seem similar, but I'm curious to hear the nuance.
It's about intentional planning and time blocking. By literally marking a slot in your day for the new habit, you're making it a priority. It's a scheduled appointment with yourself, less likely to be pushed aside by other things.
Oh, I see the difference now. It's about proactively making that commitment in your schedule. So moving on, the ninth suggestion is focus on getting started. It acknowledges that initiation can be tough and suggests making it easier by, for example, placing workout clothes by your bed. What are the principles behind these types of strategies?
It's all about minimizing friction. Make the path to starting as smooth as possible. By removing obstacles or reducing the number of steps required, you lower that mental resistance.
So it's like removing any excuse not to do it.
Exactly. Having your workout clothes ready eliminates that step of searching for them, making it that much easier to get dressed. It's about making the desired action the default, easiest option.
I love that approach. It's about setting yourself up for success. And the next point, make it easier, builds on that idea of simplification. It uses examples related to healthy eating, like preparing meals in advance or having healthy snacks on hand.
Yes. The goal is to make the desired behavior the path of least resistance. When new habits feel effortful, they're harder to maintain. By simplifying the process, you reduce the mental and physical burden.
Right, it's about removing any unnecessary hurdles.
Precisely. This could involve breaking down a big habit into smaller steps, automating things, or just making the necessary resources readily available. The easier it is, the more likely you are to stick with it.
Makes sense. Now, the 11th suggestion encourages us to look at the big picture. It reminds us to keep our long-term goals in mind, like how regular exercise leads to better long-term health. How crucial is this long-term perspective, especially when we're facing daily challenges?
It's essential. Keeping the long-term vision in mind provides a powerful anchor. It reminds you why you're doing this, especially during setbacks or when the immediate reward seems small.
Right, it's about remembering the ultimate goal.
Exactly. Visualizing those future benefits, better health, more knowledge, a new skill, can give you the motivation to push through difficult moments. It keeps those daily actions aligned with a bigger purpose.
It's like having a compass to guide you on your journey. And the next point is so important for maintaining a healthy mindset. Learn to forgive yourself. It emphasizes that slipping up one day shouldn't lead to giving up completely. Why is self-compassion so vital in habit formation?
Perfectionism can be a real trap when building new habits. We all slip up, and when we do, a harsh, self-critical response can lead to guilt and shame, which can derail us completely.
It's like that inner critic shouting you down.
Exactly. Self-forgiveness allows us to acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and get back on track without getting bogged down in negativity. It's about progress, not perfection.
That's a much healthier perspective. Okay, the 13th suggestion is all about making it fun. It says that incorporating enjoyment like listening to music while exercising or choosing engaging books can make habits more sustainable. How does fun factor into all of this?
Well, when you associate a new habit with pleasure and enjoyment, your brain creates positive associations. This makes you want to repeat the action. It's no longer a chore, it's something you look forward to, which makes it much more likely to stick.
It makes sense. We're naturally drawn to things we enjoy. So moving on to the 14th suggestion, it highlights the buddy system. The idea is that social support makes the journey easier. Exercising with friends or joining online groups can provide motivation and accountability. How does this work?
The buddy system is powerful on multiple levels.
Hmm.
There's accountability. Knowing someone's expecting you or working towards the same goal helps you stay on track.
Right. It's like having a built-in cheerleader.
Absolutely. There's also the social support aspect. Sharing your struggles and successes with others who understand can be incredibly encouraging. And then there's the element of healthy competition or mutual inspiration, which keeps the momentum going.
It sounds like a win-win situation. Now, the next suggestion emphasizes that adaptability is crucial. Life happens, and we need to adjust our habits when things get busy or we're not feeling well. It gives the example of doing light stretching instead of a full workout. How can we cultivate this flexibility?
It's about having a flexible mindset and being kind to yourself. Accept that perfection is impossible, and there will be times when you need to deviate from your routine.
It's about rolling with the punches.
Exactly. The key is to have backup plans, smaller versions of your habit, that you can still do when time or energy is limited. This reinforces the habit even when things are tough, preventing that feeling of failure that can lead to giving up.
It's like having a plan B to keep the momentum going. Now, the 16th suggestion focuses on recording your progress. The idea is that tracking your efforts, whether in a journal or an app, helps you feel like you're moving forward. What's the benefit of this?
It provides tangible feedback on your efforts, which can be incredibly motivating. It allows you to see how far you've come and reinforces the idea that your efforts are paying off.
I can see how that visual reminder would be powerful.
Plus, it helps you identify patterns. Maybe you consistently skip your habit on a certain day, which can prompt you to adjust your strategy. That visual evidence strengthens your belief in your ability to succeed.
It's all about staying motivated and on track. So the next point, do what you want first, suggests that when you're feeling overwhelmed, try tackling the habit you desire most first. For example, choosing between exercising or finishing work based on what you feel most drawn to. What's the benefit of this?
This taps into intrinsic motivation that comes from genuine interest and enjoyment. When you prioritize a habit you genuinely want to do, you're more likely to approach it with enthusiasm and commitment.
So it feels less like a chore and more like something you actually want to do.
Exactly. And that makes a huge difference in your ability to stick with it. Finally, the last suggestion emphasizes the significance of transformation. It reminds us that building new habits is an investment in ourselves, leading to future growth. It brings us full circle to that big picture we discussed earlier.
It's about recognizing that these small changes can have a huge impact on who we become.
Absolutely. Each consistent action contributes to your growth, resilience, and well-being. It's about the long-term transformative power of these seemingly small changes.
So, to sum it all up, building better habits is a multifaceted process. It's about starting small, being clear about our goals, establishing routines, linking new habits to existing ones, rewarding ourselves wisely, using techniques to overcome inertia, prioritizing rest, scheduling strategically, making it easy to start, keeping the long-term benefits in mind, being kind to ourselves, making it fun, finding support, being adaptable, tracking our progress, prioritizing our desires, and ultimately recognizing that it's all about personal growth.
Wow, that's quite the list.
It is, but remember, you don't have to implement everything at once. The key is to experiment, find what works best for you and your goals, and be patient. It's about finding your own unique path to building the habits you desire.
I love that. It's about making it your own.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up, think about these 18 suggestions. What's one small but significant change you could make today towards a habit you've been wanting to build? What makes that step feel achievable for you right now? Take a moment to reflect on that. And thank you for joining us for this deep dive into building better habits. We hope you've gained some valuable insights that you can put into action.
Absolutely. Until next time.